Okay, so in case you've never heard of Make Magazine, it's a magazine that has tons of do-it-yourself projects, everything from steampunk to robotics to Legos to musical instruments to just wacky little robots and things you can make yourself. And in this issue a couple years ago, there was a story that I really liked with this thing called the Wonder Cabinet, or the Cabinet of Curiosities. And the idea behind this is that back in the 16th and 17th centuries, wealthy European nobility was starting to study the natural world around them. And as they applied the principles of science and reason and logic to understanding the world around them, they would collect and organize artifacts of the natural world. So some of the stuff they might have would be like a bald eagle feather, or the tooth from a blue whale, or an interesting rock or mineral, or something like that. And basically these wonder cabinets were collections of collections. So you'd have many smaller collections of things within the cabinet itself. And I really like this idea of a cabinet of wonders, a cabinet of curiosities. So I wanted to make my own. And what I did is jumped on Craigslist and found a cabinet for $20 and filled it with some stuff I own. So let's take a look. This is my cabinet of curiosities that I got on Craigslist. I paid $20 for it, and from the looks of it, it was originally made for holding CDs or VHS tapes or something. So let me show you what I've got, starting with the top. This is a postcard that my old girlfriend from Japan gave me. I've got a small hand-painted figurine that a friend of mine brought back from her trip to China. And I've got this cool Hawaiian tiki carved head mask thing that I got at a thrift shop. So let's check out what else we've got. Inside the first door, I've got a collection of buttons, and also a collection of hotel room key cards. These are electronic key cards, and a lot of places really don't care if you take these with you when you check out, so I've got kind of a big collection of them. The next thing I've got is a collection of flattened pennies. These are the ones that you'll get from a souvenir machine at a lot of touristy places. I've got a couple albums of them. And inside this cedar chest, I have a collection of pilot wings that were given to me by stewards and flight attendants when I was a kid. So we've got a bunch of different wings. Some of them are pins. Got United Airlines, US Airways. There's one in here with the old Southwest logo. I've got a TWA one and some others. So those are kind of neat. On the next shelf, I've got a Zippo Lighter. Even though I don't smoke, the heritage and the engineering behind this piece and the history of it is just really cool. I love that they're American made. I love that they have a lifetime warranty, and it's just a really neat, cool thing to own. I've also got a Swedish-made fluid-filled compass. It's kind of neat. Below that, I have a large collection of ticket stubs from concerts and events that I've been to. Every once in a while it's kind of neat to look through this and remember some of the shows and things I've been to. Then below that we just have a couple of toys and knickknacks from childhood. Harmonica, a ripcord bike, and a fold-out paper fan. And then down here on the bottom, I've got a couple of neat artifacts from a ghost town in southern Arizona. It was a mining town, and these were the steel balls that were used in the ore to, they were used in the refinery to crush the ore and separate out the gold from the rest of the rock. So these are kind of heavy. They're just old steel balls from a ball mill. And then some toy handcuffs and other little things. Moving on to the middle shelf, I've got a couple of packs of cards, some dice, and other knickknacks that you can buy in casino gift shops. I've got this yellow flower that a friend in high school gave me and told me to keep forever. It's been over 10 years and I've still got it. There's a collection of tiny liquor bottles. This is a little piece of rope that I got when I was a volunteer at the Japanese garden. We had some gardeners come over from Japan and show us how to braid this kind of rope, and it's just a neat little keepsake. And that's pretty much it for this shelf. Moving down to the middle, I've got a cheap Walmart pocket watch that I've had since I was a kid, a laser pointer, a really nice chunk of machined aluminum that I found while riding my bike. This is kind of cool. This is a Cold War radiation dosimeter that the U.S. government distributed to citizens. And the idea was that you would look through this into a bright object such as the sun, and it would show you what your radiation exposure was wherever you were at. Just kind of a neat artifact of Cold War history. I think I got it at a gun show. A couple of old pagers, just kind of funny to have around. This is a flight plan that a pilot gave me once when I was a kid. I always thought it was kind of neat. I've got another cedar box with more flattened pennies, and of course a Fisher Space Pen. Moving right along here, the next shelf is kind of the money and currency shelf. Some of the things I've got are a real silver dollar that my Uncle Dave gave me. This is a replica of the 1933 U.S. Double Eagle, one of the most valuable coins in history. I've got a couple of $2 notes, even though they're not collectible like everyone thinks they are. Dollar bill origami, fashioned into the shape of a ring. This old box has my coin collection in it. There's just a bunch of random coins and some foreign money in there. And then these are kind of neat. This is a $100 trillion note from the Bank of Zimbabwe that I bought on eBay. These were actually issued by the Zimbabwe government. They're no longer in circulation. They've restructured their entire currency system. And behind that, in here, I also have a United States silver certificate, which looks just like a dollar bill, but actually is a little bit different. And on the bottom shelf here, I've got a fossil. I've got some neodymium rare earth magnets that I pulled out of old hard drives and disk drives. These magnets are the strongest type of permanent magnet, and they're really powerful, so you need to be careful when playing around with them. I've also got a couple of interesting rocks and things that I found on hikes. I've got a box with some seashells from the beach, and a tub of just some gems and minerals, things like amethyst, quartz, and fool's gold. Finally, on this side, I've got a collection of keychains. I've got a collection of some super shiny pennies and some pre-1982 pennies. Those ones are actually made of real copper instead of copper-coated zinc, and the melt value of some of these actually exceeds the face value of the coin. Of course, it's illegal to destroy U.S. currency, but it's just kind of neat to have them around. And then I've got a bag of used shell casings that I found out in the desert. The Phoenix Firebirds was our local team before we had the Arizona Diamondbacks. I've got a collection of matchbooks from different restaurants and places I've been. A couple of more knickknacks and things from when I was a kid. An egg of silly putty and a tornado tube. And then we move on to my collection of 1970s LED calculators. These things were pretty state-of-the-art back when they were new, and the displays on them are just really, really cool. I like them. So, got a couple of those. Got a few HPs, a Texas Instruments, and a Heathkit. And just a couple more calculators down here on the end. So that pretty much wraps up my Wonder Cabinet, Cabinet of Curiosities. I hope you liked it, and thanks for watching this video.